Hello, good morning, people of the world. How are you? It's Tom Brown. Just dropped the kids off at the bus. Today is their last full day of school for the year. They do have a couple of days. They are going to school for a couple days next week, but they're half days, and I think they're just doing like field days and just fun stuff, I guess, to wrap up the school year. And they'll be out next Wednesday. So, and then we actually have to load up the kids and the dogs, and we're gonna take off and drive back to Washington just for couple weeks. We'll probably leave around the 26th, 27th, probably the 26th of May, so next week, and then we'll be coming back on around the 9th, 8th or 9th. We're gonna fly my daughter and our grandbaby down from Washington. We're flying them into Vegas, and they're going to stay at our house for I think about 10 days or so. My wife and I are going on a little trip with a couple of my buddies to Mesquite, Nevada, and St. George, Utah for like 3 nights, 4 days and 3 nights. So anyway, that's what we're doing. And I gotta stop here because we got some traffic on our road, which is really weird. So yeah, stop. Hey guys, sorry about that. There was some people blocking the road here that we live on, and so I stopped to see what was going on. Anyway, they were just talking, but apparently the 2 of the main cattle ranches here in the area where we're living, it's open range, so which means the cows have free range to go all over the place to forage for food and all that stuff, all that kind of thing. And apparently they're having some trouble with the cows breaking through the gates and stuff. The one lady who also goes to the bus stop every day and drops her daughter off, they just moved here from I think Alaska or something like that. I think maybe she went through a divorce, and she might be living with her dad or something, and has her daughter with her. I don't know. We haven't heard the whole story yet, just bits and pieces. But apparently she had a whole big garden set up, and the cows broke through the chain link fence, through the barbed wire, and ate her whole garden, destroyed her whole entire garden. And then the guy she was talking to, another guy that I just talking to for about 20 minutes or so, he had the same problem with the cows breaking in through his fence, getting into his garden. So that's kind of a little bit worrisome for me. I'm gonna have to do something to mitigate the cows getting. We haven't really seen any. I mean, I've seen cows a couple times, like right near our house on our property, but not in our little 1 acre piece, but real close by. And then we also the other day seen some hoof prints on the ground in our driveway coming in through the gate. So we may have to close the gate at nighttime just to keep them from getting in the habit of coming in to the property. But I mean, I'm sure we can figure that problem out. I'll tell you what, if I go through all this time and energy and effort to put up a greenhouse and have a garden, and a couple of cows destroy my garden, those cows are going bye-bye. And I'll have a freezer full of beef. But anyway, yeah, so it's a nice morning here. It's about 7 a.m. It's already 73 degrees out. I'm headed back to the house today to do my chores. I got to start gearing up for going back to work. I got to get a bunch of stuff kind of cleaned up and organized around the house and around the property, just so everything's not so strung out all over the place. So that's going to be my goal. I got to get a few more electrical things done over the next few days and get the property kind of cleaned up and organized. Not only because I'm tired of looking at the mess, but like I said, my daughter and my granddaughter are coming out to stay, and my wife and I are going to be gone for a few days, and my daughter's going to watch her brother and sister, which are our younger kids. So I don't want to have stuff strung out all over outside, and kind of want to have it halfway organized and nice for them when they come, so they don't have to stress out and worry about stuff being scattered everywhere and that type of thing. But so yesterday we went and opened up a bank account finally. Now that it's been 2 months since we've been here. But one thing that was concerning to me, and should raise a big red flag to most people, is the fact that we've got a bunch of banks in town where we live. we got Wells Fargo, U.S. Bank, Chase, Bank of America, and then I'm sure there's more than that, and then there's a whole bunch of like local banks, so credit unions and banks that are just in this area. And out of all the banks we called, there was only one local bank that has 3 total branches, 2 in the town we live in and 1 in the next city over, Bullhead City. 3 branches total. They were the only ones that had people working in the bank and were able to get us in and open up an account for us. I mean, if that's not a big red flag to people that there's more going on than meets the eye, when every bank we've called either is shut down, closed, don't have enough people in the bank to keep the bank open, or they're not taking on any more, they're not opening up any new accounts, because one of the banks 2 of the banks my wife called One of them said they're not taking any more members because they don't have enough people to staff the bank. Another bank we called said that, and this is one of the credit unions, they said that they had too much money in deposit, so they couldn't bring on any more members, which to me sounds like it's a little backwards, because if you have, they have too much money on deposit to balance out with the amount of members they have, you would think that they don't want to get rid of the money, so the thing they need is more members. I mean, that would make sense, but nothing in this upside down crazy world makes sense. So it is what it is. I just thought, my wife and I were both kind of looking at each other like, huh, really? Every bank we've called it, we were starting to get worried there for a minute. Like, are we not going to be able to open up a stupid freaking bank account where we live here? We have a bank account in Washington where we came from, but that's also a local bank to the area where we used to live, and they're not really uppity up on all the new technology, like the banking apps, and like Zelle, Venmo, that type of stuff. PayPal, we did do a PayPal transaction through our bank account from PayPal, but they're not really affiliate. They don't dabble in any of those apps. So luckily they accepted the PayPal transaction. But that's just how, that is just right there. That just goes to show you how crazy things are getting when, people want to think that everything is just kind of working itself out and things are slowly going back to normal and this and that, but I gotta tell you something, people. It just seems like that on the surface, because the mandates and all the little rules and stuff have been lifted for now. But just because our gracious, wonderful controllers have lifted their totalitarian rules that never should have been in place in the first place, doesn't mean things are going back to normal. That just means that they want to make people think that things are getting better and going back to normal, while they sit there and manipulate all the pawns and chess pieces in the background. I don't, like I've told you guys before, I don't watch the news. I used to watch the news and I used to keep up on things and stuff like that, but I really don't anymore, because it doesn't really matter anymore. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. They're always feeding you the same BS line of fear, 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 fear. Keep everybody in fear so you can keep them in control, so they'll be more apt to go along with any little crooked thing that comes down the pipe, because they're so afraid of their own damn shadow that they're willing to sell their soul for a little bit of safety. When the truth of the matter is, nobody's safe from anything. The government can't save you from anything. They're the ones that are putting all these chess pieces into place. When I say the government, I don't mean, I'm not talking about all the normal people that just show up and have an 8-hour day job and work for the government. I'm talking about the high-level corporations, the deep state, the CIA, the people that own the media, all the crooked politicians, people that have eyes to see and ears to hear and an active brain cell on duty, they know what I'm talking about. I don't mean the government, like, you know, everybody that works for a government agency and you know, that's not what I mean by that. I mean the people that think that they're in control of making the rules and making the laws and pushing their agendas through big money, big influence, people and corporations that think that they can just do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want because they have the money and they have the backing and they have all the legislation in place to just to keep screwing everybody, you know, for their own benefit. Screwing everybody. I'll shut this door if my dog doesn't jump out of the truck. You know, and it's just, it's easy to see when you know what's going on, but when you have your face buried in Facebook and Twitter and whatever other bullshit is constantly on the mainstream, you know, you're not going to see the big picture for what it is, you know. You're just not going to see it. You're going to see all the little minute trivial things that are pushed in front of people all the time to keep them docile. And if you think it's going back to normal or slowly returning to some state of normalcy, you're living a lie. You're living a delusion. Dang, Chewy. What is wrong with you? You got gas, buddy. And so, you know, I mean, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that if nobody else has told you that, but it's time to wake up and smell the frickin' fresh cup of reality, you know. You can't, people gotta stop ignoring, they gotta stop ignoring what is really going on, and they have to stop believing all the people in the news and on the mainstream and all the popular people on Facebook and Twitter, and you know, that just want to frickin' hashtag whatever, hashtag kiss my ass. How about that? Hashtag you're frickin' dumb and you don't even frickin', you can't think for yourself because you weren't taught to think for yourself. You weren't taught to think for yourself because the people that are in control of the media and public, you know, watch out, public education have taught you exactly what they want to teach you. And it's not the teachers, come on. I mean, you know, there are some teachers that, you know, most teachers they want to be teachers because, you know, they want to help the younger generation and they want to inspire kids, and, you know, they want to help the next generation grow and all that stuff. But you got to realize that it's the system. It's the system. The teachers can only teach what they're told to teach. They can only do what they're told to do. You know, and hey, no, you're not going to jump out. Stop it. It's a rabbit. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. I got to stop ranting. Sorry about that, people. You know, I got all these things in my head and I just go from one topic to another, like real quickly. And so I apologize for that. There's a couple of people camping alongside the road there. But anyway, you know, the bottom line is, my point was that it is time for people to put down their trappings, put down all their brainwashing devices, put down whatever it is that is keeping your brain and your perception in this small little tiny bubble perception that is propagated by the news outlets, mainstream media, and 99% of all the crap you see and hear on the internet. All the billboards you read, all the flyers that are put out by all the local government agencies in your area. You know, it all is one big conglomeration of ideas and ideas and values and perceptions that have been put in place over a vast, long period of time to get people's perception and thinking the way that it is right now. You know, this isn't just what's going on in the world right now, isn't just people that are wanting to try to make a difference, and you know, people that are you know, and I'm gonna just okay, so just like the LGBTQ letter, whatever else letter, you know, you want to attach to yourself, just like that whole movement going on right now. And I'm going to come right out and say it. I don't really care what people think, because everybody has their own opinion, and this is my opinion. That movement has been going on for decades and decades and decades, and it's slowly creeped into our society by little tiny tiptoey movements. You know, oh, let's just do this one little thing, and then one more little thing, and then one more little thing, and then, you know, then they wait a little while, then they push one more little thing through until that one little thing, that one little idea or perception gets embedded farther and farther into the psyche of society, and then once that little thing gets ingrained into people's minds, then they make the next little step, and then they wait for that to simmer and come to fruition in people's minds until people accept it. They push it one thing so much until it's accepted, and then they move on to the next thing, you know, one little tiny step at a time. That's how they do it. And I'm not the type of person that is against people wanting to express themselves in whatever way they want to express themselves. You know, I believe that everybody should have the right to express themselves however they want to, as long as they're not hurting anybody and it's not being pushed on anybody. But you gotta be a freaking blabbling dumb freaking idiot if you think that crap is not being pushed on the little kids, little children that don't even know what it means to be male or female, or you know, I mean, there's only, in my mind, there's only two. There's a male and there's a female. There's not anything different than that. And in some rare cases, yes, there is, you know, a hermaphrodite, which is both sexes. That does happen. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. It does happen. I have nothing against those people. You know, that's how they were born, and that's the way they were made, you know. But little girls and little boys are made to be little girls and little boys. The creator of everything that put this whole existence spinning into motion isn't a freaking idiot. He doesn't accidentally, or I don't want to say he, because I don't even believe that about he and all that crap. The underlying creative intelligence that put everything into motion and that governs the laws of how we live and how the whole universe perpetuates every day doesn't make mistakes. Does not make mistakes. It doesn't accidentally put a little boy in a female's body or vice versa. A little girl in a male's body. I know everybody wants to be different and they want to stand out and it's okay to be gay, and if you feel a certain way, then that's fine. I'm telling you, people, the only reason why that is so prevalent in our freaking world nowadays is because it's been pushed on us to think like that every day for decades, since before all the people that recognized themselves to be that way, before they were even born. It's been planned out to get rid of the genders, to get rid of male and female, two distinct separate entities, but super powerful in their own. God dang, this freaking road is the masculine, feminine, or sorry, excuse me, that came out wrong. The sacred masculine and the sacred feminine are two of the most powerful things that we can come to know. And a lot of people out there, if they're watching this or if they see this, they're gonna say, oh, that guy, he's that's the whole reason why I don't tolerate toxic masculinity. And that guy just has white privilege and he doesn't know anything about what we've been through and the difference that we struggle with and all that. And I'm telling you, people, you're freaking brainwashed. Okay? You don't know your asshole from a hole in the ground if that's what you think, because that's not the truth. There's no white privilege at all in my case, and most of the white people that I know, there's no white privilege. Most of the white people that I know are like me. They grew up in the freaking slums, grew up in poverty. I didn't even live in a house when I was a kid growing up. When I was staying with my dad, when my mom got remarried, we did live in a house. It was 8 people in a 2-bedroom house. I didn't complain. I didn't bitch about anything, I was happy to have a warm place to sleep and a bed and 3 meals a day and all that. But when I grew up, we lived in a bus for a couple years. We didn't even have a property. We drove around and lived out of a bus in the wilderness. We slept on the ground with blankets for quite a while my dad bought a piece of property and was trying to develop it with no money and no nothing, a little tin can trailer. And I was super poor growing up. So don't sit there and tell me that I have white privilege. Okay? Everything that I have, I've worked my ass off for. I've had a debilitating disease ever since I was like 12, 13 years old, and I've rose above it. I haven't let it, you know, dictate where my life has gone and dictate my decisions that I've made. And I'm gonna be a bum, and I'm gonna live off the state, and I'm just gonna get all this free money. You know, F you and your stupid freaking white privilege. You can take that freaking saying and shove it up your ass. Everybody that can see the truth knows exactly what I'm talking about. You got to step away from your false perceptions and your false beliefs and get back to reality. Reality. We are all humans on this planet, whether you're black, white, Chinese, brown colored, Indian, it doesn't matter. All the normal people, the vast majority of the humans on this planet, we are all stuck in the same spin cycle. We're all being manipulated and controlled by the people that are in power in our countries and the corporations that span the globe. It has nothing to do with being black or gay or white privilege or any of that. Those are just things that they pump out constantly in your face to control the people, to keep them fighting amongst each other, so we can't come to the same agreement and the same conclusion that, hey, we're all in the same damn cage. We're all being manipulated by the people who are in control, who want to have total dominance over everything on this planet. And the only way they can do that is they got to take the masses of people out in society and turn them against each other, so we cannot unite on a common front to get rid of our little problem that we have, which is the people that are running things, that have been running things since the beginning of time. And they've always manipulated us, and they've always kept us in as slaves and people that just do their bidding because we're too stupid to realize the truth. So, you know, people got to put down all their differences and realize that we've all been had. We've all been manipulated, controlled. I grew up in the public school system. I've been subject to all, you know, I don't have any white privilege. And what you think is toxic masculinity is actually something they call righteous anger. And everybody has that right to become angry for a righteous reason. I have a reason to be angry and to say the things that I'm saying, because our Creator gave us this beautiful planet to live on and to enjoy and experience this world. And the only thing that we've done is flush it down the frickin' toilet so we can say that we're safe and taken care of by our slave masters. And that's the way they want to keep it. They don't want people to pick up the torch for themselves and to make sure that they have their own safety taken care of and they have their own physical well-being taken care of, and they have their own needs met by the power of their own will. They want people to put down their own self-power and give it away to the people that are on the screen telling you, oh, we're going to give you all the safety and all this stuff, and all you got to do is just comply. Just comply with all these ridiculous, out of control rules, and we'll make sure you're taken care of. Well, that's like an oxymoron, people. Okay? So, wake the hell up. Wake the hell up. Go get yourself some perspective and go Go find something else to look at besides the same old mundane shit that you're fed every day on the mainstream. There's lots of people out there that are trying to wake people up, and they know what's going on, and they're trying to prepare for the shit train that's coming down the track. And most of the people want to turn a blind eye to it because they've been brainwashed to think that all those people are just conspiracy theorists and oh, you're a wacko and this and that. Well, go ahead and think that if you want. Go ahead and continue thinking that if you want. But when shit hits the fan, you're not coming to take my stuff. You're not going to be the people that are preparing for what's coming right now. They've got their weapons, their protection. And I don't care if it's the state. I don't care if it's somebody with a badge on their frickin' hanging off, all bright and shiny on their shoulder. Nobody's coming to take anything that I have. And that's just the way it is. I have the right as a human being, and everybody, no matter what planet, what country, what color your skin is, everybody that has been born into this existence with a soul and a spirit has the right to protect themselves and protect their family and feed themselves and have clean water and a safe place to live without the thumb of the almighty controllers over them. And if you think that these problems are all caused by, humanity as a whole, like, oh, well, something's got to be done because, humanity's naturally evil and we just want to kill each other and have all these problems. Well, you don't know shit for Shinola. Because the vast majority of people, most people, want to live in harmony with this planet, want to get along with their fellow human beings, their neighbors and anybody they come across. Don't mind working, putting in an honest day's work for an honest day's pay, whatever that pay may be. I'm not talking about the almighty dollar. I'm talking about just working in general, putting out the effort into the world to make sure that your needs are met. Hey, sorry guys, sorry about that. My phone overheated and shut off, just like I kind of overheated there a little bit. But I didn't say anything that wasn't truthful. All the people I know, except for a very rare case of maybe one or two people I've met in my life, have no ill will or bad intentions for any other people. The reason why people do the things they do is because the society, the way it's been designed, breeds criminals, and it breeds people that have so much need that they're willing to do whatever they got to do to make sure their needs are met. And try to get out of the wind here a little bit. And if you grow up in the slums, and I'm not making excuses for anybody, people should want to do the right thing regardless of their situation. I think that's part of the problem, is everybody finds an easy way out, and without rising above it and putting in the extra effort to rise above the system. But most people in this country and every country, they just want to be happy. Most people just want to be happy. You want to be left alone, unless you don't want to be left alone. If you want to hang out with other people, then you want to have fun and enjoy yourself. And How many people do you know that just want to go and steal and fight and just be all around evil people to others? There are getting to be more and more people like that in our society, but it's only because they don't have anything else. The world has chewed them up and spit them out, and they don't care. They've lost their ability to care about their fellow man because they've been so downtrodden. All they can do is try to preserve the self. What I'm trying to say is, if we just let go of all of our dogmatic beliefs of what we think is reality, of what's been pushed upon us from every angle for decades and decades and centuries to make us feel like we're all bad, like humanity is the problem. As far as like the environmental control people and all that are concerned, humanity does cause a lot of problems on this planet, but it's all because of the system. The system can be changed. There's no rule that's been written down in any history book or any law book or anything like that says that we can't, as a whole global human community, cannot choose to change and choose to get rid of the people that are in power and choose to just do things differently, because that's the only thing that's going to save us from the downward spiral that we're headed in right now, is for people's perceptions to change, for us to wake up from our comas and from our sleep, and look around you, look around your environment, look around in your reality world, not inside the screen, not inside the media and what everybody else is thinking. Just look at reality and realize that people can change. Things can change. It's not too late for things to change. I mean, things are spiraling out of control pretty damn fast, because the people who want to maintain their complete dominance over everybody and every resource on this planet want it to spin out of control so they can bring in their one world totalitarian, get in line and shut up or get left behind system. And we have to wake up and realize, people, that there's a different direction we can go. We can all experience some joy and some happiness and live life in peace and harmony on this planet if we get rid of our perceptions that have been driven into the deepest part of our brains for eons, that we're all different, and I'm different than you, and you're different than me, and we're different color skins, and we're different demographics, and we have different religions, and different this and different that, and I'm gay and you're straight, and I'm right and you're wrong, and it's all there to keep us infighting, so we cannot become a force to be reckoned with as one global community that all is on the same, has the same goal in moving forward. Most normal people, they all want the same thing. They just never talk about it because they're too busy fighting with each other, and they're too busy picking out everybody else's faults in this world. And I like everybody. I'm not anybody that I come across, or I haven't been around that many people lately because I've been out here doing my own thing. But in general, my whole life growing up, I've never been against gay people or people that didn't speak my language, or I had lots of friends that were from different ethnic groups, and there's we all most people, other than some rare exceptions, will tolerate and embrace their fellow man, no matter what color your skin is, what language you speak, what your gender is, or anything like that. As long as you treat people with respect and you don't try to harm anybody or take advantage of them or manipulate them, treat people how you want to be treated. That's the golden rule, and that's all there is to it. It's real simple. It's real simple when you cut it all the way down to the bottom line core of how we should all be acting on this planet. So anyway, I didn't want to leave you guys hanging with my phone cutting out like that. I will splice this video. I say splice. I know it's not splice. Edit, whatever. I'm an electrician by trade, so splice. That's the word I use. Anyway, I'll join these videos together and put it all in one grand magnum opus for you, and I'll make another one probably tomorrow. As soon as I get this mess cleaned up and the rest of the wiring done here in the next couple days, I'll walk you around the property and kind of show you the finished product. You guys have a good day.